All right, so there's a lot of people that didn't come forward, and they had their reasons. And although many of their reasons are the same as mine, it's just something I got to deal with, right? Now, most of these people, I told you why it is they did what they did. Like Chelsea Worsing, she let me know just a couple of weeks ago that the reason that she didn't come forward is because of her condition. She's autistic, same as me. And because of her disabilities, actually, I should probably pull this up. Because of her disabilities, it's hard for her to make friends. I do understand that. As far as real friends go, no, she doesn't have any. Katie Whiteman isn't a real friend. Now, Amy Clean and Kingery showing up, and Josh, they wanted to have a short conversation with me and tell me that they're going to try to dig my stuff out of their basement a little bit later on, and that some of it is on top of the washing machine already. I'm hoping my air compressor is there. I'm sorry it keeps freezing up. I'm doing the best I can with this, but we'll continue with this. Now, I don't think that out of all of these groups, none of them bothered to look at the evidence on my Facebook. None of them bothered to look at the evidence on my YouTube. Now, Mike, he posted up part of a clip of where I'm at Shannon Alvarado's over a year after people died, after Natalie died. And I had 6 or 7 people ask me the same question over and over and over again. Well, how did you know she was dead? See, that's the thing that's different between his narrative and that clip. It's the same thing that Mike Boudet did. Mike Boudet did it extremely maliciously, though. He used keywords. He wanted to cast doubt on anything that I said. And then he wanted to praise people like Tim Beeson. Tim Beeson raped Natalie Bollinger, stole her dog, held her down on the floor and screamed in her face, refused to allow her to have the dog if she didn't continue to date him. I mean, holy fuck, it was a goddamn fucked up situation before I ever went to Virginia. If you guys can watch that happen to somebody and not care, I mean, holy fuck, you're not human beings at all, are you? Whenever I see people posting about after a black man gets killed by a white officer, when I see people posting about how he probably deserved it, fuck you, bitch. He didn't deserve it. He's a human being. Fucking choking a black man to death for selling cigarettes? Amy, I guess she kind of wants to get her kids back. She doesn't really talk to me much. Josh does most of the talking. And they claim they're not on meth. I don't know. I don't really hang out. I hope it's true. Someone named Belinda Hill mentioned me in a comment. I wonder if it's someone I pissed off. So we will continue this.
Posting slander about me all over Facebook. So if you receive a message, I'm sincerely sorry. Please ignore him. It only encourages him when he gets a response. Much like a child. He's mentally ill and I'm trying to fix this.
See, instead of telling the truth, she wanted to play on the mentally ill thing. Call me like a child. No, like a child is what she did. Done with shit like that before I even hit junior high school. But it's acceptable for her, isn't it? Isn't it? Exactly, Ashley. She typed, "That's why as soon as I seen your comments in Rob's video, I came straight here. I knew there was way more than what was said, and I am so glad I did." Have you gotten to take a look at your emails yet, Ashley? Completely left out the part about
The picture Natalie painted was alarming because it truly did not stray from the stereotypical mentally unwell individual.
playing on stereotypes. I said that already. Bias, public opinion. Yeah. All you gotta do is paint a believable picture and it's alright. Meanwhile, fact is stranger than fiction. The emails that I sent to Ashley and sent to Rob, well, those show that I was telling the truth. And two of them that I'd like to forward, but, well, the problem is that they expire after 10 days, which I didn't know. It's because the files were so big. So then you need a special code to get back into it. Fuck if I know how to do that. And I gotta remember 10,000 codes, 20,000 phone numbers, 30,000 dates. When I'm overwhelmed, the first thing that I forget is names and dates. Names and dates. Those are the first two things to go. And the problem is, I told the officers this on the 29th of December 2018 or 2017. I let the officers know about my Asperger's, about what not to do and what to do if you want to get the best information out of me that you can. Just because you can trip somebody up by twisting and contorting their words, when somebody has a connection issue like I do, the higher the stress, the bigger that connection issue really is. So it's best for me to be working in a calm environment, devoid of screaming. You notice that the only person who ever screams that you guys can hear is me. Now, once in a while, I get to hear the guy who owns the house and his ex going, well, all right, they're not really going at it. It's mostly him just taking a shit ton of verbal abuse from her, but still, you know. In my humble opinion, it's also not okay for anyone, including her. It's also not okay for me. Now, on the one hand, yes, these people did these horrible things to me first. And yes, I tried everything other than breaking the law while they were busy breaking the law, but the law didn't care. When I ultimately got to the point where I had to break the law, I did so. I did so in the hopes that it would bring some light to this situation. Who were Natalie's predators? According to her own words, her family. Now, that slander that she posted up there is because she was embarrassed, because she wanted to make her family of fuck cultures happy. They put it in her hand and said, if you love me. And the word love, she wanted to be loved so much. She closed her hand around it. The hearts of the world all broke. Ashley, when you look at the one that I sent, the first forward from Natalie Bollinger, that's the one from 2016 that I exposed Ted Bollinger with on the 12th. Yeah, it shows quite a bit in there. Now, those telephones had a lot of correspondence, and I attempted at every fucking juncture to try to get law enforcement to take a look at that. But everywhere I went, I got the mentally ill treatment. And I tried explaining to people before Natalie was even dead, I need help in person. If I go into a station alone, nothing good is going to happen. Homeless people aren't human beings to any police department in the United States. There might be individual police officers who see us as human beings, like Officer Abel Ramos, but he used to be homeless. And he doesn't like Steinman. All is not well with me. I still have court date. At least I finally have a court date. One of my witnesses in the situation after Natalie died is Alyssa Rainwater. And I harassed her until I got a court date. If you're going to tell me you're going to do something and then you're not going to keep your word, yeah, I'm going to speak out about it. Now, whether it was intentional or not doesn't make any difference. The fact is, those officers got away with doing the things they did and saying the things that they did and falsifying that evidence because Mandy Hughes never spoke up, because Alyssa Rainwater never spoke up, Michelle Cook never spoke up. All of these people just never spoke up. They all promised. If you're going to make a promise like that, you need to keep your word. I mean, this whole time I should have had an advocate to help me with this. And I had a good one. I had a fucking wonderful one. I had Tamara, Hispanic woman from Longmont with an autistic son. No, I don't know his name. There's two types of parents of autistic children. There's the ones who want their children to be cured, even if that means beating them, or in some cases, electroshock therapy is still used in the United States to cure autism. It doesn't work. I have tics. I do this with my eyes or this with my wrists. I don't see a difference between giving me drugs to stop that or using shock therapy to stop that. They're both damaging to the body. Doing this doesn't hurt anybody. You're just scared of it because you're a fucking idiot. This doesn't hurt anybody. You're scared of it because you're a fucking idiot. You watch too much fucking TV. You watch too many horror shows that are entirely fictional. That's not my fault. Your assumptions are based on Hollywood. You don't like people who are different. I get that. Do you know why most white folks are racist against black folks? Because they're scared of them. They don't know a goddamn thing about black people except what they saw on fucking Boys in the Hood. I'm not sure how many of y'all have watched Boys in the Hood. That's a pretty fucking greasy movie. Oh yeah, all them black people in South Central. Holy fuck, don't be spouting that ignorance at me. You know, when I was in California, I got on the wrong bus, got off at the wrong place, right smack dab in the middle of a purely black neighborhood. One of them places where they tell you not to go as a white person. And you know what? I didn't have a whole bunch of black people coming out of their houses and pointing guns at me and shooting at me. I had concerned black parents come out of their house and escort me to the fucking bus station. Now, what would have happened if I was a black kid walking through a white neighborhood? Chances are pretty good somebody would call the cops. Same as they would if they see a homeless person. You're scared of black people, you're scared of cops. Let's see, Ashley typed, I've glanced at a bunch of the emails. I don't have my PC today, LOL, so it's like overload on my phone, but we'll download them and compile them together on my laptop tomorrow. Very cool. You know, Mandy Hughes said that she was going to do that, and she never got around to it. I sent her a lot of evidence. She just never got around to it. Ashley typed, and guys, I just want to say the shit that Sean has sent me is totally on point, and everything that he says is exactly matched. Well, yeah, I don't like lying. I don't really see a purpose for it. The few times that I did, what was the purpose in me lying? The safety of others. That's why those court dates are so important. That's the safety of others. I'm never going to be safe again. You don't get to recover from something like this. You always have to deal with the haters and the people who assume the worst. Because I'm a man, I have to deal with the man haters. That's sexism. Because I'm white, I have to deal with people who want to blame everything on white people. You do see that I'm impoverished, right? You do see that I'm not some rich guy profiting off of slave labor. You do see that, right? Now, the thing is, these stories, you say, oh, you're a broken record, you're a broken record, you're a broken record. Yeah, I am. I said it yesterday, I said it today, I'll say it tomorrow, and you know what? Until the day that I die, I'll continue to speak out. Now, am I willing to spend time in jail or prison for the crimes that I've committed? Absolutely. Should I have to spend that time in jail because I was forced to break the law? I think it's fine, actually. See, these people broke the law, and I want there to be consequences for these people for the things that they did to me. Now, if I am threatened 300 times, and then I threaten one person back after. All right, it unfroze again. Now the Tim Beeson stuff, that's really important stuff. By the way, Ashley, one of the guys that I talk about in my videos, one who assaulted me, Derek Parrish, the one that says Red Skywalker, that's actually from Derek Parrish. Also, the one that's Marie or possibly Maria, that's actually Mandy Hughes. And she explains in that a little bit about why she wanted to change it to her name. It just auto-corrected to that, and she was stuck with it. I know all about having issues with autocorrect. The stuff that I have on here, I do want to send you the stuff from a lot of these other situations that I've been in too, because I literally have been in these situations. Actually, I was going to finish this, wasn't I? I suppose I should probably do that since that's what this video is on, and this is like the 8th time that I've tried to start this.
In, say, horror films, Sean Schwartz was depicted as an older man not in control of his emotions or logic, to the point where all self-awareness disappeared and one and only one goal existed, and that was to be close to Natalie. Between the threats...
Except I didn't threaten her, we lied about them. The slander in Virginia. Train! The slander in Virginia. That's what all this was started over. In Virginia. while I was actually being stalked because she wanted to pretend that I stalked her. Now, the evidence shows that I didn't, but I wasn't allowed to show that. All of those Facebook bans that I was put on because people wanted to call everything spam, my choice. I didn't make myself the target. I was made the target by slander from the Bollinger family in Virginia in 2016. Fuck yes, I harassed her. I am being treated like a child molester and a rapist for things that I didn't do to you, Natalie. Tell the fucking truth. Give me your address. I'm going to send you a protection order. Yeah, give me Tim Beeson's address so I can send him a protection order. What's Tim Beeson's address? 299 Iris. Now, I thought it was 299 Iris, Boulder, Colorado. So when I went down there to talk to him man to man like human beings, as an adult, and I went and knocked on his door, not only was it the wrong door and the wrong house, I was in the wrong fucking town because he lived in Broomfield. 299 Iris, Broomfield, Colorado. They rubbed me the wrong way too, Ashley. And thank you for verifying that.
And the threat of taking his own life, Natalie's life seemed to be in imminent danger.
How is Natalie's life in imminent danger? That's what I want to know. I want my life to end, not Natalie's. I want my life to end, not Alicia's. I want my life to end, not Rose's. I didn't threaten to harm Natalie at all. You know, I can believe that to some degree, Gwen. Gwen Turner type, she did drugs, she did it to herself, sadly. She didn't do that to herself. When she first started doing heroin, she didn't have a choice in the matter. Her dad fed her those drugs and then fucked her. Natalie Bollinger is actually an exception to the rule when it comes to heroin. Do you know why? Because most heroin addicts don't actually start on heroin. They start with a back injury or a leg injury. They get addicted to government opiates. You notice I say government. The government is what approves these things. It says they're okay. This rate doesn't hurt anybody. This doesn't hurt anybody. But I did get beat up quite a bit growing up because I did this, because I did this. And the doctors thought if they gave me medications that fucked with my liver, that I'd stop doing this and this. Well, no, I also started going, Yeah, it's Tourette's syndrome. It's not a decision. It's not something that I went, oh, gee, I'd like to wake up and have Tourette's syndrome this morning. I think it would be great if people would come punch me in the face for blinking and winking weird or for doing this with my wrist. I would love for people to treat me like I'm on fucking drugs for something that I didn't fucking ask for. I was born with it. When I left Virginia, after that, I didn't ask where Natalie was at. I didn't ask who she was with. Those are two of the primary things that determine whether or not you're a stalker. Are you trying to find out where they're at all the time? Are you trying to find out who they're with all the time? I don't give a fuck who she was with. Until Tim Beeson got a hold of me. And right there, I'm fucking scared shitless for Natalie. I'm like, holy fuck. After all the shit that this dude did to you, after you left the state to get away from him and your father, your predator is calling me to threaten me with a motorcycle gang. And then he's getting a hold of me on Facebook. When he did that on Facebook, that was perfection. See, Tim Beeson, unlike all of these other people who are harassing me, threatening me, stalking me, and assaulting me, Tim Beeson was the first person that I could positively connect to Natalie and Alicia Bollinger. Well, at least Natalie. All of the rest of it up to that point had come from Maddie Boa's meth customers. And yeah, no one did help her. They were too busy fucking treating her like a fucking junkie. I didn't treat her like a junkie until I was getting treated in a horrible fashion over her not telling the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand she's an addict. I understand why she did the things she did. My mom does the same things. I'm not I'm not unfamiliar with it. Jamie Curtis does the same things. Now, Jamie Curtis is prettier and younger. So she gets away with a lot more than my mom does now. But my mom is actually a lot better at it than Jamie will ever be capable of. You are right. They do need to be criminally charged for harassment. See, people want to ignore everything that they did to me, and then they want to focus on the fact